My name is Eric, and I will be presenting the topic of directed energy weapons today. DO for short, for some of those new to the conversation. I'm bringing up this topic today because I came across a wonderful article that was posted on the page of Robert Duncan, who is one of the scientists that worked on the directed energy weapons systems and programs before becoming a whistleblower himself and going out into the community and trying to expose the wrongs of his previous aspects of his career. But directed energy weapons, what they basically are is unlike conventional weapons and munitions, explosives and stuff like that, which are, delivered and launched and sent and have, standard logistical lines and things and limits. The directed energy weapons or exotic weapons of the future are more like Star Wars weapons. Laser beams, acoustic weapons, sonic weapons. They have a variety of names now. Mind control weapons. I mean, these are all on the agenda at this point. You might be familiar with such equipment that we've seen about the globe at this point. We already have devices like the LRAD, the Long Range Acoustical Device, the HARP device, which we have up here in Gakona, Alaska as well. There's a variety of land vehicles now that have these devices affixed to them. Raytheon is a manufacturer of one of the devices that gets attached to the Humvees. And then there are also area vehicles that have these directed energy weapons systems on them. There are also satellite systems that have directed energy weapons systems mounted on them. Just a quick history, just so that folks know, directed energy weapons have been functionally in use for decades at this point. I guess the first known incident with a directed energy weapons attack would be the woodpecker device from the former Soviet Union. And this, I believe, was installed in the 1960s, the late 1950s, early 1960s, if my memory serves me correctly. And for quite some time, it was a functional device working its evils. And then my understanding is that it was the Chernobyl power plant that was running the power, the massive amount of power required to run the woodpecker device. And it wasn't until such time as that Chernobyl went down that we lost the woodpecker assault. We also had the embassy in Moscow way back when was known to have been being attacked with directed energy weapons, but instead of doing anything about it at the time, the U.S. government simply just got involved with doing studies to find out the impacts. Both of these incidences really more or less just caused the United States to start its own program in and of itself. Most recently, in our own country, in San Francisco, in 2005, if I remember correctly, there was a 911truth.org movement going on. And the participants at this event were claiming, I don't know the whole story, I can't really corroborate, I can give you their claims, but they claimed to be attacked by directed energy weapons as well. And I have here from the article, so you can check it out. This is the testimony of American citizens that were protesting in their own country, and these are the effects that they were stating that they had. It was a nondescript toxic feeling. I had a spasm in my back on the ribs. Whole area was swollen, and the effect was debilitating. Had difficulty turning over in bed. Another person said, all of my thoughts were terminal. Another person said, it came in, and my whole body was electrified. Came in at the chest. Another person said, some days it's purely emotional. I was losing it all day and crying. And then finally, the last testimony was for the rest of the 40 minutes, my heart was uncontrollable, just racing and racing. My chest was so constricted that I thought I could not breathe. These are testimonies from fellow Americans. So this is very concerning. I mean, directed energy weapons, they work. Science has made them. The idea of function isn't even questioned anymore. It's a scientific fact. I mean, I have up on the board here. This is what they have it dialed into now. 6.6 hertz is going to cause depression. It's going to make you sad. It's not a question anymore. It's a matter of function. It's a science. If they hit you with a directed energy weapon and it's at 7.83 hertz, it's going to cause a pleasurable feeling. Go figure. It's the Schumann resonance, the known harmony that we balance with Mother Earth. So, I mean, that wasn't much of a lesson learned for them, but it goes to show us that we can have harmony and frequencies do matter. The 1080 hertz range, as quoted from the article, causes riotous behavior, not a bunch of happy people. So these are the frequencies and more. I suggest that with what's going on in the world contemporarily, that we pay attention to what's going on, because if these frequencies are being activated, if you start to see people working collectively in a mass mental state, you may want to start asking some questions. Because if you haven't noticed, at the bottom of the board, it tells you who this project was brought to us by. SRI. The same people that brought us MK Ultra. The same groups that already had standing orders to work on human beings in an experimental capacity, unknowingly, without their permission. So, I mean, if SRI has got their hands into directed energy weapons, what's really changed? I mean, if they can run MK Ultra and they can have massive experiments on massive amounts of people unknowingly and on children, what's changed?